Hey, Coach Julie here. I want to take you through a little tour of mental strength for the competitive softball athlete. One of the questions I get about this book is what is in it? And I think it's a very valid question. And as a parent myself, as a coach, as a performance professional in the athletic industry, I think it's really important for us to assess what we're putting in front of our athletes. So, in order to support you in assessing if this is a resource for your competitive softball athlete, I'm just going to take you through a little tour of the manuscript. We're going to break it down. I'm going to share the components of the book so you can really see if this is a good fit for your athlete or your athletes. Now, this book is written for the athlete, right? Coaches and parents can absolutely come alongside the athlete in the navigation of the implementation of this book, but truly it is written to her. It's written to the girl in the batter's box. It's written to the girl on the diamond who is experiencing missteps and a lack of self-confidence and is wondering what to do about it. Okay. It's for her. And I would say 13 years and up is really independently. She can go through this book. Anything lower than that, it's not that it's not for them. There's some tools in here, and I've simplified them massively that I would just encourage a parent or a coach to come alongside the athlete in the exploration of implementation of the program. Okay, so enough for me. Let's dig in. I'm going to share my screen, and you're going to get to see my book manuscript. Okay, so mental strength for the competitive softball athlete, mental toughness for softball, mastering resilience, confidence, and comebacks on the field, including 12 proven mental strength hacks. I can't wait to share those with you guys. Obviously, we're going to take a deep dive on them. If you want to take a deep dive, snag the book. It's on Amazon. And it's right now, to date, as I'm posting this, it's under $10. Okay, so let's jump into the table of contents. I think that's the best place for you to see where we're going here in this book. It is a short read, all right? Let's face it. Our athletes don't have a lot of time on their hands. They're juggling the sports, practice, conditioning, agility work, academics, not to mention family and relationships. So there is a method to my madness in keeping this concise and short and digestible for our student athletes, because the most important thing is that when they get done reading or as they're reading, they're able to apply and practice what we talk about. Through the entire book, I take them through practice in what I call mental agility practice. And it's a series of reflective questioning, which is a skill that if they develop through this book, that in and of itself will be game changing for them in changing their game. Okay, so chapter 1, the demands of the diamond. I connect a little bit with them about what it takes to be a softball athlete and what it's like, and they know that, but we connect around that. Then we talk about the science of softball performance. So what are those physiological responses that happen as a result of anxiety, error, missteps, frustration, exhaustion? So we dig into that just so they understand that there is some science. It's not really all their fault that they're struggling in certain phases if they are struggling. We talk about starting where they are and the power of just meeting themselves where they are at. And then we go chapter 4, we go into the 12 hacks. So don't mistake hacks for simplicity. Although these are presented in a simple way, the practice of them and the consistency of them take work. And that's why I have the trackers and the trackers. The trackers, I am a former farm girl, so once a farm girl, always a farm girl, I suppose. But we do have trackers for our student athletes in this space, and I'll show them to you before I sign off from this video. So our hack, my hack, have been tested. I have incorporated science into them, so they have a little bit of proof behind why these works. Some of these you may recognize, but in things that are very common in this space, I truly feel we are missing the mark in how showing our athletes and coaching our athletes in how to implement these. Okay, we often teach them and coach them on the what, but not the how. And in my book here, we go deeper on the how and actually get some reps in there. So there's some new things here you might not recognize conceptually. However, massively game changing. Now, every single hack isn't used for every single athlete, every single play, or every single at bat. It's a menu, and your athlete gets to choose. So we just equip them with the tools to do so, and then they get to pick what works for them, and they get to practice that for a season. And by season, it might be like 30 days, just like our trackers and the rhythm that I have them going through. So, of course, chapter 5, we talk about maintaining the mental strength, the power of consistency, which is massively important, not just in the game, but beyond their game. All of these tools, by the way, feedback I've been getting from people in the entrepreneurial space is these hacks are for corporate. These hacks are for entrepreneurs. There's definitely a lot of crossover here. Why not teach our young athletes this now, y'all? Okay, chapter 5, maintaining mental strength. Like I said, the consistency, how to keep this game going. Chapter 6, personalizing their mental game plan. And chapter 7, trusting the process. All right, so let's go down. I'm going to take it all the way down to our mental game trackers. So you see just a very easy read. I do have some affirmations in here for your athletes, but one of my favorite trackers is our 30-day mental strength game plan, where your athlete can actually go through these steps, answer the questions, and actually come out the other side with a plan of action for 30 days, and then they distill it down into their daily and weekly mental strength tracker. This again is highly implementable. Okay, so it is so important that we don't just learn and expand our minds. That's important, but we must apply what we're learning. Even just small pieces over time add up. All right, so they've got 30 days worth there, and then one of the hacks we talk about is kind of that fuel for life hack, which in our mental health, in our mental game, in our mental agility, in our mental endurance, it's so important for us to just have those habits that sustain us. And we are not going to be sharp here if we are not taking care of our bodies. So there is actually a tracker for them to do that. So that's what you're looking at in this book. I am really excited about the potential for this to help your athletes. I think that it is so important that we equip them for the long term. That sport is it's two things. It is a distribution channel for their talents and their skills, but it's also a simulation of life to come. And no matter where your athlete is in the game of softball, it is going to end. And to be able to equip them with these tools and strategies now and get some practice in a container, in a space that is safe, is going to change their life potentially. I know it has changed mine, and I know I wished as a competitive softball athlete at the collegiate level and lower that I had a tool like this when I was on my journey. So paying this forward, if you want a copy, jump onto Amazon. I will place the link somewhere around here so that you can get it. But I would be honored to serve you and your athlete in this capacity. Signing off, Coach Julie.